And welcome to Flightdeck Live, powered by SportBuff, where if you use the promo code AlexFlightdeck at checkout, you will save 10% off your entire order. I'm Tim Capper from Bristol Molson Stadium here with Cliffy D as the Alouettes lose we know the comments you used last week. We can say this was a heartbreaker, but there were just so many things in general by itself that gave this Alouettes team the loss tonight. And there's just many things to just talk about. I have calmed down. I haven't had bacon yet, but I think I will tonight again. But this one, how do we compare this one to last week's game versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders?
And I thought about this, and I even asked, what's worse, getting dog walked by the Saskatchewan Roughriders last week, or losing a game that was literally within seconds? Like the Montreal Alouettes had this game, I won't say in the bag necessarily, because, again, the Canadian Football League, no lead is truly ever safe.
Yeah.
But they had this game. And give credit to Cody Fajardo. There seems to be a trend now of former Alouette quarterbacks coming back to Bristol Molson Stadium and proving them wrong, I guess, or however you want to phrase, whatever narrative you want to use in this instance. Trevor Harris did it last week. Cody Fajardo doing it this week.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say at this point?
Yeah, Alouettes lose 23-22 to the Edmonton Elks. Fall to 5-4 on the season. Cannot take advantage of that loss by the Hamilton Tiger Cats this week. And obviously going into BC this week.
Yeah, which is basically a guaranteed loss. I mean, the Alouettes are welcome to prove me wrong, but I mean, history has taught us nothing else. Is that going to BC Place is basically a guaranteed loss. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Doesn't matter who the head coach is. Doesn't matter who the water boy is. Someone, somewhere, maybe can beat this BC Lions team at BC Place for the Alouettes, but we haven't found that person yet.
No. The Alouettes lose to the Elks for the first time in 6 games. And, this is a game where some within the media are calling for a change in quarterback. There was a change in quarterback tonight at the end of going into the second half tonight, but it was for a reason that we really didn't expect or really didn't see coming. It seemed that coming out of the locker room that MBT, McCall Thompson, had an ice pack around his elbow on his throwing arm.
To be fair, throwing a pick six can, put strain on one's ligaments, I imagine. So that's got to be the reason, because quite frankly, McLeod Bethel Thompson, I don't know how he could have played a worse game than last week, but my God, he found a way. I mean, let's face it. Yes, the Alouettes were up, I believe it was 13-4 at the half.
Yes. No,
that was because
the touchdown, 13-11.
13-11. My bad. But okay,
I'm trying to forget it too. Trust me.
You're absolutely right. But at one point, this Alouettes team was up 13-1.
Yeah.
Because of a Travis Tice house call, which was absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. First since last year. That's the last time that we had one of those was last year by James Letcher Jr.
Yep. And 2 Jose Maltos Diaz field goals. I mean, the Alouettes had the momentum. They were rocking it. And again, almost a sellout crowd. Again, just a little over 20,000.
Yeah.
Everybody was into it. Everybody was excited. The defense was on fire. Special teams was doing great. It was just the offense wasn't clicking at all. Very little,
no.
if anything. And then the cherry on top was that absolutely brutal throw by MBT into the waiting arms. Practically, there's literally no one around Tyrell Ford.
And I think the Owls were actually in scoring distance. They were close to scoring a touchdown.
The worst case scenario, they would have kicked another field goal just to pad the lead. Instead, no. MBT basically gift wraps the momentum and hands it to Tyrell Ford on a silver platter. I don't think I've ever seen such a deflating You'd have to go back to like the lean years, like, from 2014 to 2018 to see that sort of uninspired, I'll say it, pathetic effort from this Alouettes team.
I would go as far as say inept. I would use the word inept, especially for tonight.
Sure.
In that thing, that is really a 10-point swing right there. Alouettes could have been up even by more at halftime. They came out in the second half. They finally get their first offensive touchdown in almost two. It was actually just more than 2 games. Last time they scored was about 9 minutes left in the third quarter in Calgary.
Yep.
Thrown by MPT, by the way. Yeah. And from there, the Alouettes have done nothing. So the Alouettes tonight, not only do they give up 14 points on via turnovers, so Edmonton took advantage of it, scored 14 points over turnovers. Haven't scored a touchdown. Scored 2 offensive touchdowns in 3 games. They played better in the third quarter. They had I think it was just over 100 yards by Caleb Evans. They looked good, but then they just went dormant in the fourth. I think they had maybe 30 or 40 yards in that fourth quarter. And on that drive, on a day where the defense just dominated Cody Fajardo getting sacked here, Percival Molson, what a concept. You know what I mean? A day where it kind of ruins the hat trick by Ademi Berkland. He has 3 sacks tonight, 6 overall, 6 or 5 overall, double check. But still, it just ruins the night overall for the Alouettes, because certain things that couldn't get done, including the defense on that last drive. You would think Cody was in the Grey Cup trying to just score the go-ahead touchdown. Oh, wait, it was the go-ahead touchdown.
Yep. I mean, what a great comparison. I mean, and that's exactly what Cody Fajardo does. And that's why you started Cody Fajardo. And ultimately, that trade now just looks worse and worse every day. I mean, of course, if Davis Alexander was healthy, it'd be a different story altogether. But at the end of the day, it's still Cody Fajardo versus McLeod Bethel Thompson. The winner of that trade clearly was the Edmonton Elks. It was if there was even just a shadow of a doubt over the past couple of days, the past couple of games, I think it was cemented tonight that Edmonton won that trade quite handily, and Cody Fajardo does what Cody Fajardo does best, and just pulls a win out of his ass.
Yeah. It was just, I couldn't believe what they had done tonight. Let's go over the stats real quick. MBT was 10 of 15, 79 yards and a pick. Caleb Evans was 14 of 18 for 113 and a touchdown. Leading rusher was Sean Thomas Earlington with 33. Obviously, we'll be going over this more in detail on the pod on Wednesday. Sean Thomas Earlington left, I think it was early in the fourth quarter, which we don't know what type of injury he had.
Yeah.
And Travis Tice continued for the rest of the game. Travis Tice had 29 yards. By the way, so we're talking about things that happened tonight. Reasons for potentially why the Alouettes lost this game. They had the 14 points on turnovers. One was after a missed field goal, and it was just Tyler Snead just got rocked. I'll give props to the Elks special teams. He just got rocked, popped the ball up, and there was almost an easy touchdown for the Elks to get them even closer.
And it's technically not his job to be returning kicks and punts and that. So I mean, again, this is where missing a James Letcher really hurts, and having basically when your plan B is basically Travis Tice and Tyler Snead. That's a little troublesome. I know the effort was there for Tyler Snead. I mean, he's been playing some outstanding football despite everything that's been going on with the Alouettes. But yeah, this was that was tough to watch. That
was leading receiver for the team was Charleston Rambo, 51 yards on 8 receptions. Tyler Snead had 50, and Speaker had 47. He had that touchdown. Again, by the confirmed, it was 6 total sacks tonight by the Alouettes defense, but again, just not enough because they could not, unlike a couple weeks ago where Cody could not seem to stay upright when he was trying to drive for the winning touchdown. Tonight, it was the Alouettes just could not break through and get to Cody and then stop him on that go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah, and it just felt like it was third time's the charm for Cody when it came to mounting that comeback to get the Elks the win. I mean, he did his darndest in Saskatchewan, came up short. Against Hamilton, if Keon Julian Grant was able to hang on to that ball in the end zone, the Elks would be now on a winning streak. But, again, third time's a charm, and it's almost poetic in a sick kind of way for Alouettes Nation that it's Cody Fajardo to Keon Julian Grant for the winning touchdown.
Yeah.
Not exactly Fajardo Philpott, the Grey Cup, but still the two former Alouettes coming back into this house to basically hand the Alouettes another L.
Yeah, and despite those two injuries to MBT and potentially to Sean Thomas Ehrlichman, the Alouettes, I think, came away pretty well unscathed. Did see this one thing though with Bryce Cosby, not Cosby. Can't remember, defensive back number 20.
Lorenzo Burns.
Thank you, Lorenzo Burns came off the field in the fourth quarter, holding himself right here, and I wasn't sure what they were doing. They checked on him, but it's early days. We want to at least make sure that we give prop, everybody their due. And what better way? We do have some Pod Brothers visiting us this week, and we want to go ahead and bring in Andrew Hoskins. We're known as
congratulations.
Free for having you on. Yes, also known as Freakalicious from the Turf District podcast. Andrew, I know it was your first time here at Percival Molson.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about something positive. And how was your experience?
Actually, the experience was amazing. I gotta say, I know that Kayla had said quite a bit that this is one of the best places to watch football, and I agree with her. I understand that, it's an older stadium. I understand that, bench seating in some areas and things like that. But let me tell you, you just feel like you're on the field with the players, and especially like you guys said, with the sold out crowd, the noise on defense was awesome. I mean, as an Elks fan, it sucked, but as a fan of the CFL, and as a fan who has had teams and places in Commonwealth where it was that loud, that loud fan, like the vibe was so good. And I really, really enjoyed that. I made a new friend. His name is Joe, and we met out at the tailgate. He was sitting in row 1, so he invited Nathan and I to sit down with him, and we did. And it was just like the whole experience was just an amazing time.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad you had fun. I said it's a part of the bucket list that you have to do here in the CFL when it comes to the stadiums and stuff like that. Let's hear your point of view. Obviously, I know you guys have a pod coming up this week too. I'm sure you don't want to give too much away of what you're going to talk about, but obviously it is a win. It's the Elks' second win of the season. I mean, coming into this game itself, Andrew, what were your thoughts on the potential of the Elks being able to come away with a win?
Oh my! Two mics, neat. You know what? I thought that if they were going to have a chance, like I thought that Montreal had enough injuries that you saw the Elks building over the last couple of weeks. I thought there was a chance that they could pull this off, right? If Davis Alexander starts this game, I probably come into the game thinking, I'm not really sure we find a way. But because of where the Montreal has been with their number of injuries, I thought, okay, we have a shot here. Now, you were talked about the pick six and how much of a game changer that was. And I thought about it as you were talking about it, is that maybe...
As I was ranting. Let's just be honest. I was pretty pissed.
Actually, yeah, you were pretty pissed. You're calm now. Yeah. I appreciate it. I get it. But no, when you were talking here live, when you said that, MBT came and then you said, well, throwing a pick six will hurt your elbow. But I wonder if the elbow got hurt, and then as he threw it, it was like, oh, that like really hurts. And that's why it was, because it was undercut. I think there was, I don't know which receiver it was, probably Charleston Rambo, because everything was going to him tonight. He was about 3 yards ahead, and Ford was able to turn around and just grab that and take off. And now even Ford bobbled it, right? Yeah. And as an Elks fan, I'm like, good Lord, hang on to something. But he did. And I do think that I thought that was going to be a massive turning point. What turns out, though, is as we get into that second half, I thought the Montreal defense played very well. Like you said, 6 sacks. Cody didn't have a lot of time to work with. And that last drive was when the Elks finally started taking advantage of the quick out. And that's a Cody Fajardo special. He's really good at it, and obviously had the guys to go for it. And I think that's actually why Keon Julian Grant ended up so open on that last one to over the middle to take it in. So very exciting overall. I admit I'm probably going to lose my green and gold card for this, but there was a minute left. So I went down to make sure that I could meet you fine gentlemen. And so I watched that winning touchdown on the concourse, and with surrounded by Montreal fans, I was like, yeah, yes. Oh my God, it happened. Yeah. I'm allowed to cheer, but I feel bad. But it was pretty exciting because we've had so much struggles as of late.
Actually, I didn't feel bad cheering in Calgary when I was there.
No. I never feel bad when I cheer in Calgary.
I no problem. I think, by the way, I think I don't know if you agree with me on this one, same with you, but I think one of the turning points there on that last drive, I think what a lot of people are forgetting is that the Alouettes were called for an offsides, which really changed the momentum of the line of scrimmage by just a touch more. That gave Edmonton those a few yards.
The offside on the kickoff?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I didn't even know it was called. I was actually texting Mike, and I'm like, why are they re-kicking? Like, I didn't hear it. And then, they were offside. I'm like, okay, well, at least we didn't get the ball that bounced in between the two guys that were both looking at each other like, you get it. Well,
that's exactly.
And it kind of recovered that a bit.
Yeah, exactly. It was completely different from hot potato to being able to actually catch the ball and go it through. So, I mean, it's...
with the penalties at hand, I mean, I don't know if you looked at the final tally for penalties, but
there weren't that many. Thank God. I mean,
Edmonton was just like, I don't know how many times I was just like, Tyrell Ford's throwing the guy out of bounds on the, like, what like, I'm so glad you scored a touchdown, but what are you doing? Like, I thought for sure that was like going to bite us the other way, because penalties have been an issue.
Each had 6 tonight. 6 for 55 for Edmonton, 6 for 41 for the Alouettes.
Oh, wow. Only 55. I thought it would have been more than that. So I thought that was actually going to be a major game changer in this one, was that the penalties were adding up. Yeah. But obviously it didn't get too out of control. And again, when that hit by Niles Morgan to pop that ball loose on the missed field goal, I honestly don't know how it wasn't flagged, but I know he hit him here, but he hit him so hard that ball flew out there, and Niles was pumped, as he should be. Yeah. And so I don't know if it would have mattered who the returner was. That guy, if you get popped like that, it's pretty hard to hang on to the ball.
Oh, it's true. I agree.
On the podcast we had Superfan Mike on, and he talked about one of the keys for Edmonton was going to be learning how to win in the fourth quarter. Do you think that, I know it's just one game, but do you think that they finally figured out how to win in the fourth quarter?
I don't know if they've completely learned, but I think this is a great start. This is one of those things where you have a minute left in the game, and the killer instinct finally comes in and they get the win. And that's something that Edmonton has struggled with for years. And these last 2 weeks, that was the message after each game, is that, we're right there. We're playing really well. They took the 2 best teams in the league in Saskatchewan and Hamilton, or the 2 hottest teams, I guess I should say. I don't want to say best, because let's not get carried away. But they are the 2 hottest teams, and they took them both to the wire, down to where they could have won, and they just couldn't find that killer instinct to finish. This one, they found it, and very much a Fajardo, what is it, FYJW moment?
Oh, which I was afraid of. Yeah, I was afraid of all week.
Yes, you said it in the chat on our pod. Yes, you did. Yeah.
So
never know.
Again, I mean, now like I said, you second win on the year for the Elks. And who do you guys have next?
Next week we got Toronto in Edmonton, and so who the hell knows? I mean, probably just because of the way the Elks luck is. Chad Kelly's coming off the 6th game, right, or something? No, I'm sure he's not. But we'll see. Again,
what's that? David Alexander coming off the 6th game?
Yeah, I was expecting that this week. That's the way it usually goes for us. But so no, I think Toronto's a team that can be very up and down, and so. You get hot Nick Arbuckle. They're a really hard team to beat. You get Nick Arbuckle that throws a couple of interceptions, and you might have a better chance. So I'm excited to see how that one plays out. I got to see obviously what they're how they're looking at their game, but I think it'll be an interesting one at home. I'm hoping that they find a way to win at home because we need fans to be coming out, and what they need for that is a couple of W's.
Yeah. Just win, baby. That's what it counts.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just win, and winning at home too. Then you leave with the good experience, right? Mm-hmm. So that was where their other win was against Ottawa. Now we got to hope that they can find a way to do that against Toronto.
Exactly. Yeah. For those who don't know, and I'm just maybe seeing you for the first time tonight, being that you are an Elks supporter and a podcaster, where can they find the podcast, and when do you guys usually have your show?
Yeah, so we're Turf District Podcast. You can look it up at the Turf District, everywhere that you find your pods, or on YouTube. You can subscribe there. We usually run on Tuesday nights, and we run at 7:30 Mountain Time. I know that's a little late for some of these East people, but these fine gentlemen are always there. So join these gentlemen and have some fun with us. And then the podcast usually comes out in audio form on Wednesday. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Hey, you know what? I'm love the experience here. Thanks for having me on, and I'm glad that I finally get to say, "Woo, we win!"
That's it. That's what it comes down to, folks.
Exactly.
Someone's got to win. Someone's got to lose.
Yep. They were obviously. Again, we will go over this more in detail on the podcast on Wednesday and preview the upcoming game versus the BC Lions in BC.
Guaranteed loss.
We will be able to hear a little bit more about what's happening when it comes to the quarterback situation. We had to go and watch the Alouettes post-game scrum and any of the other interviews that were done via TSN or RDS. But either way, again, despite there being 20,500 here at Percival Molson tonight, the Alouettes again do come away with a loss, 23-22. It's their second 1-point loss of the season this year, and they do fall to 5-4. So we'll see what is next week. We're guessing at the moment would be Caleb Evans, just based off of what we saw. But as we've seen over the past couple of weeks, anything can be decided and anything can happen when it comes to this roster.
I think at some point, though, going back to MBT would just be almost like giving up on the season. I know it sounds extreme, but I mean, Caleb Evans, I think you could give him a full week of practice with the starters, give him a chance to see what he can truly do. Again, I think at this point now, expectations are tempered just a little bit. No one's expecting Caleb Evans to go in there and win the game in BC. But if he can just find a way to, make this look respectable, that's going to go a long way. And all this to say, too, that Davis Alexander cannot come back fast enough because this team looks so different when he's not behind center.
Yeah, obviously we want to try to go as win as many games as possible with Davis on the sidelines. Currently, the Alouettes are 1-2 with him on the sidelines. But then again, it's just how the Alouettes have lost these games over the past couple of weeks. It's just been it's been anemic. It really has been. Unfortunately, the defense cannot support the offense as much as we would hope they would. But either way,
I mean, we got a little boost with special teams tonight, so I mean that's positive. But I mean, it takes offense. I know defense wins championships, but you still got to put points on the board. And I think ultimately, when we look back at this game, whether it's next week, next month, next year, even, we're going to look at this game and say, if you couldn't get things going offensively, you didn't deserve to win. And guess what? Montreal Alouettes snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. There's really no other way to put it. Yeah.
Happen to miss any part of this broadcast, make sure you check out the archive, whether it be on X, Facebook, or on YouTube. And if it is on YouTube, make sure that you do subscribe, hit the bell, and tap the notification button to know that when we do go live. So again, We will see you guys Wednesday on the pod. Again, we're going to have some bacon. Calm down. Bacon does fix everything usually.
Bacon makes it better.
It does. It does. So for the last time here at Percival Molson Stadium, where the Alouettes do lose to the Edmonton Elks for Cliffy D, I'm Tim Capper. We'll talk to you soon.